Good evening, and welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities. Presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, 5-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. Tonight we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Deborah Gardner. A little bit about her. Deborah's a swimming champion turned author and competitive performance expert. Deborah helps companies and organizational professionals advance to new levels of success with an innovative mentality, streamline goals for maximum winning results. Considered by many Fortune 500 companies, Deborah is better known as the pit bull in a skirt. A rising international prominence, she accomplishes her work with captivating, energetic, playful, humorous, real-life spirited approach. With a lifetime of competitive experience, Deborah has a wealth of practice from being a Marine Brat, an Olympic trial swimmer, to a groundbreaking leader as one of the first female sports broadcasters with CBS-TV and NBC-TV sports reporter for WHO Radio, a 28-year hospitality sales veteran that was just crowned as Miss Arizona American Queen. Deborah is a certified meeting professional recipient, the top 100 motivational speakers for meetings and event professionals, top 50 smart meetings leader by Smart Magazine, top 5 most requested speakers by Meeting Professionals International, and honored as a Convention Industry Council's top 30 most influential meeting professionals. And recently, Meetings and Convention Magazine poll by Meeting Planners cited Deborah as one of the best speakers ever heard, putting her in the category with Bill Clinton, General Colin Powell, Barbara Cochran, Les Brown, Magic Johnson. And whether keynoting, facilitating, or consulting, Deborah believes in mastering her craft on the platform by doing television commercial work as an actor, conducting voiceovers, and runaway modeling. Deborah lives in Phoenix, Arizona with her husband, Jerry, and lover boy, Chief the dog, that is a favorite for program appearances. For more information, you may contact Deborah at www.deborahgarner.com. Welcome to the table, the amazing Deborah Gardner.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm delighted. What a great introduction. I have to pat myself on the back for writing that.
I love it. You are amazing. I'm so excited to have you at the table today.
Well, I'm delighted and always delighted to match up with an entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur like yourself. So I'm delighted. Thank you.
You are welcome. So, Deborah, please tell listeners more about your amazing entrepreneur journey.
Well, I definitely can contest to what you just mentioned earlier, but in the present time, there is a lot going on. As you can tell, I'm very involved in the meetings industry and working through with consulting many hospitality groups, hospitality companies, Marriott, Hilton, Omni, Sheraton. There's all kinds out there, and do a lot of consulting for the senior level to provide the best meetings that are out there. There's 1.9 million meetings that happen every year in the United States. So we always want to try to have a face-to-face type of connection with everyone every day, and that's really hard to do around technology today. So my goal and my mission is to make sure that face-to-face meetings happen, and that seems to be one of my focuses right now, along with rebranding, with teaching leaders how to succeed.
I love it. And you're doing an amazing job, by the way, okay?
Thank you.
You are doing amazing things in the community. You just won Miss Arizona, so we're going to talk more about that as we continue to go about in the show. But first, let's talk about your new brand launch in January 2020, Life in the Fast Lane. What does that mean, and how do we manage it?
Oh, yes. That is something very exciting and very close to my heart. because as a competitive swimmer, I'm always trying to swim in the fast lane. And I think we can all relate to that on our everyday lifestyle. You know, when you wake up in the morning, the alarm's ringing, you hop out of bed, you take a quick shower, you wake the kids up, you rush them through breakfast, you shove them, their mouths with cornflakes, you get in the car, you kiss your partner on the cheek, and you end up tailgating to the freeways and drop your kids off, and then you got to pick them up after soccer practice and make dinner, do yoga, and then it repeats over and over again. And the more and more it feels like our lives have turned into a grueling race toward a finish line, it seems like we never reach it. And noticing how everybody is just speeding up their lives nowadays, it's just it's a very stressful, a very, very stressful level that has been brought to everybody's life. And so I'm taking notice to that and trying to teach the fact that, hey, you know what, slow down to speed up. And a lot of times we have to take that break and take a breath and figure out what that needs to happen in order to manage our life.
And that's so important, right? Because,
it is.
It's like with the holidays, there was a time to kind of slow down for some people, but some of us probably did not. We probably continued to try to do all of it. And I want you to, can you talk more about that balance in it all and why that's so important to make sure we're able to balance it in order to continue to be successful?
Yeah, that's for sure. It's very important to balance. People want to actually slow down because they feel their lives are spinning out of control, which is ironic because speed has always been promoted as a way to help us achieve in the world or to be successful. The major cause in the speed up of life is not so much things like we think technology might be or the holidays might be. It's more of the nature of that has to change, and we all have to change internally how we look at each and every one of our lives. And that is really, really hard to do. But slowing down is actually a beautiful way to balance your life. It's just a matter of being aware of it. And, we just need to take a look at it and just being aware internally. And I think during the holidays, especially right now, we've got to start looking to the moment and balance our life with creativity and relaxed tranquility. And that's something that people are craving. Is just a matter of stopping and just recognize the pressures of work, the demands of technology, the expectations of a fast action society, and really just kind of stop at the wayside and see what's going on within you. And a lot of times, we can slow down just by doing something that we can do on a very slow process, like, maybe doing the dishes or walking the dog or going to yoga instead of always stomping on the gas pedal all the time.
Yes, that is so important. Thank you for sharing that and shining some light on that. Whether it's meditating, whether it's yoga, do something fun. Make sure you keep yourself balanced. I love that. Right.
I know, it's a struggle for me to even slow down, as it is with many people. But I think the key is to be able to dictate yourself in the proper rhythm and geared to what is going on, whether you are playing with a child or writing a paper or talking to friends. One thing that keeps this life from whirling out of control, we have to really kind of stop and what's that old saying, smell the roses?
Yes. I love it. So, Deborah, it's obvious you enjoy competing. So tell us about the pageant you just participated in.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Actually, it's been a couple months, and it was a pageant that I chose because there's so many out there to choose from, And when I was approached by the national director out of Florida, who actually saw me celebrate my 60th birthday on Facebook, and she contacted me and said, we'd love for you to, to compete in this. And I thought to myself, well, I haven't done any of that since I was like 12 years old. But I'm always up for a challenge, and if you're up for a challenge, you never know what the outcome is going to be. And that's why, accelerating in the fast lane can only be your own responsibility of your journey. And success is kind of an inside job. Once you take your responsibility for your journey, your life will change. And I took this upon as a challenge and a responsibility of my journey. And I thought, what better way to have so much fun than to go with a pageant that fits my needs? And that was important to me because this type of pageant, first of all, does things differently. When they interview, they don't talk about politics or religion. They only want to talk about your experiences and your expertise. That's why most, later life age women like myself, win these kind of pageants because we have a lot of experience. We have a lot of expertise, right? And so we have a lot to talk about. And the other thing I loved about it was you don't have to have a talent because I, as a competitive swimmer, can't bring a swimming pool on the stage to showcase people. But the third thing that really I loved is that I was able to showcase my platform. And my platform, I have 3 of them, which are animal rescue societies, military vets, because my dad is a vet, and thirdly, adults to swim, because the area of adults learning to swim has always been underrated, and because of children that always seem to be drowning in pools, more in the summer than any time, and more in Arizona and Florida, that can actually be something that can be prevented. And the best way to be preventive of this is to teach adults how to swim. So, as a matter of fact, adults, there's about 10 adults that drown every day, all year long. And that's a statistic that is not brought to our attention. So I believe in prevention, and one of those preventions is I think adults should learn to swim. It's all that whole saying of it starts at the top, like in the corporations. It all starts at the top. Well, same with when it comes to families. And my heart just sinks when I find out that adults don't know how to swim. And what better way to save a child instead of running into the house calling 911 when you can actually save a child because you know how to swim. So you pick and choose what you feel is going to work for you, and you start accelerating your own success, and you just have to take control of it. It's 100%. You have to believe in you, and I believe that confidence plays a big part in that.
Yes, I love that. And for our listeners that are listening, hopefully you're taking these nuggets down because Deborah is definitely giving us some golden nuggets here. So
yes, ma'am.
As the new Miss Arizona, what advice do you have to win such a contest?
Well, that's a very good question because I believe it had a lot to do with confidence. Bottom line, the power to believe in yourself is something that gives you a major rush, and I believe that confidence is not something you have, it's something that you create. And if you believe in you, you can create anything you want to do. And so I believe a lot of it has to do with, I guess there's about 3 things that really can help you with confidence. I believe the power of the body language, how you walk in a room, how you hold your shoulders back, how you make eye contact, how you are poised is important. Adopting a power pose. One of the deepest ways to increase confidence is to connect to your inner power. And that pose, that strength from within is very, very powerful, just very powerful. So I believe that can be a huge, huge thing. The other thing is to change your core beliefs about confidence too. Knowing that it's a mindset that you can focus on you. This sort of core belief can actually have you just reach for the sky. Being more confident doesn't mean you never fail. In fact, there are plenty of ways to be confident even in the process of failing. But being confident means that if you do fail, you can pick yourself up and try again and instead of throwing in the towel. True confidence really embodies a willingness to go on even when you're faced with adversity and always focusing on what you're grateful for at the same time. So no matter what happens, you can face it and you can come out on top. So really having that type of mindset is key. The third area is focus on the best outcomes for any type of situation. So it's all in the attitude, So those are the three areas that I really believe can help you with confidence: your body language, your mindset, and your attitude.
Yes, body language, mindset, and attitude. Attitude is set very high, right? That sits high on the list.
Oh, yes. It's all about the attitude. But, life brings things up and down. And if you want to, accelerate in the fast lane, you have to be able to take on anything that's coming at you. Like if you're driving down a freeway, for example, have you ever been behind a truck and all of a sudden a rock hits your windshield?
Yeah,
what do? You find a solution with it. Let's say you're driving down the freeway and you're tired or you want to stop, and rest. You pull off to the slow lane and you get off at the rest stop. So there's these decisions that you have to make every day, and you just have to, find your own solution. And to do that, you just take the responsibility of your own journey.
Yes, I love that. So, Deborah, you are one of the first female sports broadcasters with CBS-TV and NBC-TV. Wow. So
I'm dating myself, right?
Yes.
But I love it. I loved it. Back in the day, it was actually pretty tough, Ashley, because back then women weren't really, giving out football scores of any sort. It was Jane Kennedy, Phyllis George, and myself. We were kind of the three musketeers, and we did what we could. It was a short-lived career because, again, it wasn't something that women did like they do today, so I'm very, very proud that women are doing it today. But I loved it. I come from a very athletic background of my family, and I totally enjoyed it and would do it again in a moment. But it's all about, if you love your work, you will succeed. So from there, I've been able to become a professional speaker with ease because of my background, and I just really enjoyed that time era of my life. Yes.
Well, that's such a high achievement, and I just want to commend you because you don't talk to one of the first female sports broadcasters on a daily basis, right? So I just want to commend you for just being amazing. All right.
Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. Well, one of the things about success is you have to model the habits of successful people, and Ashley, you do a great job of that. And I love hanging out with people and surrounding yourself with people that are successful. We study people's, when you study a person's behavior, be obsessed with learning as much as you can possibly from them is going to only enrich your life. And as a matter of fact, as Jim Rowe once said, who I admire very much, he said, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So whoever your circle of friends are, you have to really, find out if these are the people that you really, are they lifting you? Are they holding you back? If it's the latter, it's time to find new friends. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to how bad you want to succeed. And one of those areas, which you do a great job of, is modeling the habits of successful people.
Yes, thank you. So what is some advice, Deborah, that you would give to the listeners who are looking to grow in the media industry?
Oh, the media industry is always such a passion to stay connected with. I just believe that you have to definitely do the work that you love. If you don't build your dream, someone will hire you to help build theirs. So you have to decide, are you going to build yours or are you going to let other people build it for you? But I think one advice I believe is we can't change what goes on around us until we change what goes on within us. And so I believe it all starts with you. And the best way to start with you is to always question why. Why, your why is your purpose. And if you don't know why you're here, it can be hard to keep going on when life knocks you down. So, but the question can be, how do you find that why? Well, I know that your purpose won't magically, fall in your lap or anything. You've got to make sure and figure out your life purpose, your soul purpose, especially when it comes to the media. Your purpose won't find you if you just don't take any action. You've got to take action, and you have to make decisions on a daily basis. So you have to take a step back and ask yourself, what do I want, and why do I want it? And that can be any step of your career.
What do I want, and why do I want it, for our listeners that are listening?
Right. Yeah, because answering that question is what will allow you to get to where you want to go faster. And when you do work that you love, the world becomes your playground. It really does. So there is a fast lane and there's a slow lane. You just have to decide, when you want to be in particular lanes. Even in the middle lane, there's a middle lane as well. On airplane rides, I always say that middle seat's like a friendship seat. Same thing when you're on the freeway. There's a slow lane, a fast lane, but that middle lane, that sometimes you have to just rest in there. But you have to decide. You have to really decide what your why is, and perform from there.
Yes, that why is so important, right? Being passionate and loving what you're doing.
It is. Life is so short, and if you do the work that you love, especially when it comes to the media, I promise you that success will follow. It will definitely follow. If you are not living in alignment with your purpose today, today is the day to change that, because the world is just waiting for your gifts, and we have to put that out there. Do the work that makes you come alive inside. Will allow you to discover things about yourself that you never even knew existed. And for me, winning the recent Mrs. Arizona is exactly an example of that. I had no idea until I put myself out there, not thinking about what other people were going to say or what my husband or family were going to say. If anything, they're all trying the crown on now. So
I love it.
But you have to take control. You really have to take control. Your entire outlook on life will change if you take control.
And I'm so glad you shine light on ignoring what people say, right? Because a lot of people dream because they're worried about what people think or what people are going to say.
Exactly. You have to tune that out, and you have to look at things on your own terms. And if you're ready to dive in the fast lane and create success, that will happen, but it will only happen when it's on your terms.
And speaking of that, Deborah, meetings and convention planners cited you as one of the best speakers ever heard, next to some of the people such as Bill Clinton, General Colin Powell, Barbara Cochran. Let's talk about that. How can one reach such an amazing accomplishment?
Well, it is, and I'm proud of it, but it also goes back to what I was saying earlier about accelerating your success is to model the habits of successful people. So those are the people that I hang out with. And when you hang out with them, you're going to, it's going to influence you. So those are the people that you want in your life if that's the direction that you want to go. So yeah, it's really kind of cool. I'm very, very proud about that.
Well, that's amazing. That's an amazing accomplishment. And you're so right about being in those circles, right? And I think people have to realize that your environment is important, right? Your circles are important. Being able to making sure you're investing in the right people to get where you got to go.
Yes, yeah. I mean, if you want to be a happy person, but you surround yourself with negative energy, well, you will naturally fall into that state of being. And so it's fair to say that the people in your life influence who you become. Yep. Absolutely believe that.
And that is so true. That is so true for our listeners that are listening. So make sure that you have the right people in your circle.
Exactly.
People.
And when you're around that type of environment, as you mentioned, you may not believe it yet, but if you have 100% control over your confidence, your happiness, you will be successful in life. And when your attitude shifts and you start seeing yourself as the driver, the main driver of your own life, the game changes. Everything changes. So you have to make that first step. No one else is going to do it for you, because success, it's not random. I think we all can agree that living the life of your dreams requires hard work, a lot of effort, and major persistence. And this is especially true if you're in the process of the media industry, especially. Nothing of value in life comes easy. However, if you become too obsessed with success, you can sometimes be miserable. But similarly, you cannot rely on others to create success for you. So it's an inside job, as I mentioned. So once you take your responsibility for your journey, again, your life will change.
Yes, and it reminds me of the name of my show, Creating Your Own Seat at the Table, right? Creating your seat
exactly.
at your own table.
and that is a perfect example, because that creation comes from you.
Yeah. So, Deborah, please tell us more about your book, How to Sell Men Without Wearing a Low-Cut Dress.
Well, that turned out to be my very first book that came out in 2009. The second edition just has been released a couple weeks ago, How to Sell to Men Without Wearing a Low-Cut Dress. It's a topic that was in my head that I needed to get down on paper. And so what developed from this is because women sometimes try too hard to make a sell or to be influential or want something as simple as getting a raise or wanting things their way. So what I did was I went out and interviewed over 400 men and asked them all kinds of questions about women. And so actually I did not write this book. Men did.
Oh, wow.
And it's really fun for men to buy, too, to read as well, because then they can see what other men are saying about them.
Oh, nice. I love it.
Yeah, and it's all about, common mistakes women make selling to male buyers. And I talk about the body language, when you're talking to a male in the hallway at work or at a mall, how you should stand to get your way or get their attention is very important. And they gave me those secrets. And then, of course, they talk about the essential role of confidence, basic motivators men require when purchasing from a woman if a saleswoman is involved. So, yeah, it was really great because it was really a lot of fun because you really get the information from the horse's mouth.
I love it. Do you want to share at least one of your secrets out of the book? I know they have to go purchase it, But would you share one of them with us?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of it has to do with how I would love to show you the body language portion of it, which I do in my programs. But one of the secrets is your words. Words. How you word things is very important to men. And how you connect with them, you can utilize your words by talking their code. You can talk men's code. And it's just a matter of finding out what's important to them. See, men love to go and golf. They love, sports. They love going, they like video games. They like playing poker. So you always have to be involved with what they're doing and understanding their language. For example, when they watch movies, find out what kind of movies they like and utilize those words when you're having a conversation with them. For example, I had a client that actually loves Clint Eastwood, and so I would always use the words, go ahead, make my day. And he would always respond to that, right? He would always respond to that. And another client that I had, when I landed in an airplane for his meeting, I told him that I would text him the words, "The eagle has landed." And so I landed, the plane landed, I texted him, "The eagle has landed." Well, he responded, knowing that that was me, he responded 10-4. And then I responded, "Roger that." So here we are having this conversation when I landed at his city and the airplane there, sitting there, before I even got out of my seat, we're having this huge texting conversation back and forth because I'm speaking his code. So just finding out what men like to talk about and utilize that, and that'll get you a lot of attention. So that is one of my secrets.
Yes, for our listeners there, I hope you are writing. And Deborah, how can they purchase this amazing book?
Oh, all they have to do is go to Amazon. The second edition was just released a couple weeks ago, and it's called How to Sell to Men Without Wearing a Low-Cut Dress.
I love it. I love it. So tell us more about your different programs that you offer.
I offer a lot of fun programs. Yes, definitely. A lot of them have to do with accelerate in the fast lane or working and living in the fast lane. Some of the programs are for leaders. A lot of them are for salespeople, negotiation people that love to really have a lot of fun at the same time. Facilitating my programs is key because the less talking I do, the more talking they do. I think it's very important for them to interact with one another. So the programs are all about, life in the fast lane, working in the fast lane, succeeding in the fast lane, and ultimately what we're doing in my programs is we are actually slowing down to speed up.
Yes. So please reach out to Deborah and get in one of her programs. She's, like I said, doing some amazing things. Make sure you get the book and learn those secrets. Learn those secrets that she shared with us. So, Deborah,
absolutely.
I know you have continued to build multiple tables for yourself. So I asked all of my guests this question. How did you create your seat at the table?
Creating the seat at the table. I love that title. That is just so amazingly spot on to what we need to get accomplished. And I believe that it is you have to take a risk. You have to take a risk. If you don't take risks, you're not growing. Progress is important. If you can progress, you will grow, and that is key. And when you take a risk, even like I did, taking a risk running for Mrs. Arizona, you just never know what the outcome's going to be. It is so
taking
true.
those risks. Yes, and not being afraid to jump. But I think a lot of people are afraid to take risks because of rejection. What are your views on that? I think that's why they're scared.
Exactly. In other words, just grab that seat and sit at that table.
Yes. So on your amazing journey, right? A lot of people, don't want to go through the process, but the process is necessary. So what did failure teach you on your journey thus far, Deborah?
Oh, good question. Good question, Ashley. Failure actually is gosh, I welcome it. I absolutely welcome it because it does allow me to slow down, to speed up. When you fail at something, I believe the faster you fail, the faster you're going to succeed. So you want to embrace it when it happens, but you also have to just slow down and recognize what it is that you learned from it. Because chances are you're going to fail again, but if you learn from that process beforehand, it is actually going to be a lot less painful.
Yes. Recognizing what you learned from it, key. That is so key. Because a lot of people, they stay down there, but you have to learn from it.
Absolutely. You have to learn from it. You can't just brush it off. And pick yourself up, wipe your knees off, and just keep moving forward.
Yes. So you're very successful. So what did success teach you?
What did it teach me?
Yes. What did success teach you on your journey?
Oh, my goodness. What did it teach me? It taught me to play big. It really taught me to play big. Playing small does not serve the world at all. And anybody, your listeners out there playing small, it just doesn't serve the world. Everyone is meant to shine. And it's not just in some people, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same, as a matter of fact. Always try to take advantage of opportunities that come your way. Because if you don't, you'll never unleash your true potential. You just won't. And the world will never benefit from what you have to achieve. You just won't. Playing big by voicing your ideas. Don't be afraid to fail. And certainly don't be afraid to succeed either. So just play big. That's what it taught me. When I succeed, I know there is more opportunities out there for me, and I keep taking more risk and more risk and more risk.
More risk and more risk and more risk, listeners, and play big. Stop playing small and play big.
Right. Exactly.
So we are in the fourth quarter. It's December 2nd. We're finishing up this year and getting ready to walk into another decade. So what can we expect from Deborah the rest of 2019?
Oh, for the rest of this year or into the new year? I'd like to take into the new year. I'm just gonna continue to show my muscles. Yes. I'm going to show there is nothing sexier than a woman showcasing her strength, her wisdom, her expertise, and brilliancy. And I believe every woman can demonstrate that, especially when it comes to the media, how strong you are by believing that you have viewpoints, you have opinions, perspectives, beliefs. It's all about showing your muscles and do what you want to do and trust yourself. Trust that you can do it and you don't have to do it any other way. Superpower your self-discipline and be the boss.
Superpower. I love that. Superpower your self-discipline. Show your muscles.
Just command your own lane. I mean, just whatever lane you're in, whatever it's the fast lane or the slow lane at the moment, do what works for you.
Yes. So how can our listeners connect with you, Deborah, and follow you on all social media platforms?
Oh, I would be delighted. And I'm sure people might have questions, too. Definitely take advantage of my personal email, Deborah@DeborahGardner.com, or my website. You can connect with me through there, which is DeborahGardner.com. I play on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram as much as possible, especially Facebook. I love Facebook friends. So please connect with me. I would be delighted to answer any questions. I'd love to hear your stories as well, because I'm always learning. You always have to keep learning. My 76-year-old mother, who graduated from college at that age, always says, you're never too young or too old to hustle, so just keep learning.
Yes, just keep learning. And Deborah Gardner is somebody to connect with and know. So make sure you all are connecting with her, following her, and supporting her amazing platform. So, Deborah, I would like to thank you for coming to the table today, taking time out of your very, very busy schedule. This has been a powerful interview, and I cannot wait to invite you back to the table.
Oh, it was a delight, and thank you so much for allowing me to share this platform with you. I'm just thrilled, and I just want you and all your listeners to be as successful as ever, ending 2019 and going into kickstarting 2020.
Yes, and I look forward to continuing to work and collaborate with you in the future.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So I would like to give a special thanks to Tammy Collins Marquis and John Schamberger. I would also like to give a special thanks to author Kimberly McLemore and my intern Sarah from Tennessee State University and my intern Vontaria from Winston-Salem State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.